Hello and welcome. My name is Hannah and I'm your consultant from Impression and Impact Consulting Group. We are so happy that you have chosen our business to service your needs of management consulting services. Impression and Impact Consulting Group partners with businesses to provide them with consulting services. Our services are individualized for each company, each consultee. We also encourage love-driven management practices that create a more inclusive work environment. You will be traveling to India to manage an Indian Red Cross Society branch. Who is the Indian Red Cross Society? They are a voluntary humanitarian organization. India has over 700 branches alone. The Indian Red Cross Society is a leading member of the International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement, which is composed of three parts. 1. The International Committee of Red Cross. 2. 187 national societies, and 3. International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies. To the right of the screen, you can see the International Red Cross emblem, which features a red cross on a white background. The Indian Red Cross Society was created to supplement the need of relief services to all the affected soldiers after India's First World War, which took place in 1914. The Indian Red Cross Society was established in 1920. It was proposed to the Indian Legislative Council on March 3, 1920. The bill was passed only a couple weeks later on March 17, 1920. We here at Impression and Impact Consulting Group encourage leaders to have a why. Your why at the Indian Red Cross Society is: the mission of the Indian Red Cross is to inspire, encourage, and initiate at all times all forms of humanitarian activities so that human suffering can be minimized and even prevented, and thus contribute to creating a more congenial climate for peace. The Indian Red Cross Society shares 7 fundamental principles that the Red Cross has established. The first is humanity. The International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement, born of a desire to bring assistance without discrimination to the wounded on the battlefield, endeavors in its international and national capacity to prevent and alleviate human suffering wherever it may be found. Its purpose is to protect life and health and to ensure respect for the human being. It promotes mutual understanding, friendship, cooperation, and lasting peace amongst all peoples. The second is impartiality. It makes no discrimination as to nationality, race, religious beliefs, class, or political opinions. It endeavors to relieve the suffering of individuals, being solely by their needs, and to give priority to the most urgent cases of distress. 3. Neutrality. In order to enjoy the confidence of all, the movement may not take sides in hostilities or engage in controversies of a political, racial, religious, or ideological nature. The fourth fundamental principle is independence. The movement is independent. The national societies, while auxiliaries in the humanitarian services of their governments and subject to the laws of their respective countries, must always maintain their autonomy so that they may be able to at all times act in accordance with the principles of the movement. The fifth fundamental principle is voluntary service. The Indian Red Cross Society is a voluntary relief movement not prompted in any manner by desire for gain. The sixth fundamental principle is unity. There can only be one Red Cross or Red Crescent in any one country. It must be open to all. It must carry on its humanitarian work throughout its territory. The seventh and final fundamental principle is universality. The International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement, in which all societies have equal status and share equal responsibilities and duties in helping each other, is worldwide. Your role as a manager of a branch of the Indian Red Cross Society is to provide these activities and programs to the community. 1. The Social Emergency Response Volunteers, which is called SERVE. 2. A blood bank. 3. Livelihood program. 4. First aid. 5. Education and training program. 6. Tuberculosis program. 7. Family news service. 6. Youth program. And finally, Partners for Resilience. Now let's talk about where you will be going. You will be going to India. India is located in southern Asia. The population is 1.3 million people. The primary language is Hindi. That is the national language and the primary tongue of the people. However, which is beneficial to you, English is used for business and economic and political purposes. The religion is primarily Hindu at 79.8%. Muslim is the second at 14.2%. India has the second largest Muslim population in the world. Religion practices are a pertinent part of daily life in India. Let's talk about etiquette, specifically business etiquette in India. It is advised that you wear conservative wear. Casual wear is not recommended for the first meeting or any meetings after that. However, depending on your relationships that are built, it may be okay to dress more casually. Titles. Professional titles, examples of Doctor, Mr., Mrs., etc., are preferred. Do not address someone by their first name until you are invited to do so. Status is dependent on education, caste, age, and profession, so be sure to address people properly. It can be a sign of disrespect if you do not. Business cards. Business cards are given at initial greeting. Give and receive always with your right hand. It is advised that you give cards face up so they are easier to read. Higher degrees are a symbol of status, so definitely include any high degrees you have on your business card. There is no need to translate your business card into a different language, as most business is done in English in India. More business etiquette. Meetings. Punctuality is a sign of respect and integrity. It is recommended that you are always conscious of time and be sure to arrive on time. Meetings generally begin with small talk. India is very prone to relationships and very conscious of relationships, so they prefer to start by talking. This may only last a couple minutes, but if it does last longer, this is normal, and it is respectful to continue to converse until the meeting is officially begun. It is advised that you engage in personal questions, as Indian peoples are very personable. Talk about marriage, education, sports, and avoid politics, religion, and the caste system. Follow-up meetings with an overview of discussions and decisions that were made during the meeting. Negotiating. No is typically too harsh and direct. Many Indian peoples will use maybe or not sure. This would recommend you to rephrase the question so as they can give you an answer that is different than no. Avoid being too demanding. Respect and harmony are definitely preferred. Always remain calm during negotiation. It is a sign of disrespect and frowned upon if you are flustered and get upset. Final decisions are made by the most senior person present and may take time. Be sure to remain patient. Now for management. As a manager in India, these are some key essential principles you will want to encompass while managing over there. Employees have distinct roles in the organization. Be sure to maintain that role to keep order. Adhere to business hierarchy, or you may lose respect of coworkers and employees. Engaging subordinate employees is not advised, as this may make you seem as though you lack expertise for your role or have insufficient expertise. Always consider public reputation and honor. Never embarrass or belittle other employees in front of others. This is very disrespectful and frowned upon within Indian society. It is advised that you provide regular feedback to employees, monitor their work quality, and timely completion. Failure to do so make employees feel unmanaged and may make you seem a poor manager. The culture in India is very relationship and group-oriented, so a strong emphasis is placed on maintaining harmony and proper lines of authority in the workplace. This means that in some cases, Indians may not say what they think to avoid offense or causing upset. This is particularly the case with people they don't know or people higher up in the hierarchy. Indians are very non-confrontational, so be sure to follow this practice. In general, Indians do not trust the legal system, and someone's word is sufficient enough to reach an agreement. So do not be a stickler on legal documentation when it comes to agreements and negotiations. It is common that successful negotiations may be celebrated over a meal. Some key leadership principles you will want to adopt are 1. Leading with love, 2. Cultural intelligence, 3. Clarity of direction, and 4. Leadership coaching. Leading with love. Leading with love is to embody these 7 characteristics as a leader. 1. Patience. Patience is to have self-control in difficult situations. 2 is kindness. Show encouragement and enthusiasm. 3 is trusting. Place confidence in someone, in your employees. 4 is being unselfish. Think of yourself less. 5. Be truthful. Define reality corporately and individually. 6. Be forgiving. Release the grip of the grudge. And 7. Be dedicated. Stick to your values in all circumstances. Cultural intelligence is very important to have in the workplace, especially when you are traveling to another country such as India. Cultural intelligence is being able to identify the differences between you and the people you are working with, particularly their customs, values, etc. It is important because if you do not, you can become across as ignorant or disrespectful. Cultural intelligence will help you at the Indian Red Cross Society because it will provide you the resources and skills to success in culturally diverse markets, speed and efficiency when working across borders, effective short-term and long-term global assignments, becoming an employer of choice, profitability and cost savings, multicultural team effectiveness, and global virtual team effectiveness. It is advised that you provide clarity of direction to your employees. Followers need specific, unambiguous goals and objectives on both an individual and team level. This is especially true in Indian management styles. As mentioned before, in the organizations, each employee has a very specific role within the organization. It is recommended that you provide these roles and give clear-cut goals and objectives to each employee so they know what they are doing and feel managed. Clear goals help people 1. Know where to focus their energy and attention, 2. Enables them to track their own progress, and 3. Allows employees to feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. Clarifying direction helps followers see how their own role fits into the larger picture. It is recommended that you take a leadership coaching approach in addition to the traditional management approach you will take while managing employees over at the Indian Red Cross Society. Leadership coaching is the method of directing or facilitating a follower with the aim of improving specific skills or achieving a specific developmental goal. It aims on improving skills and helps followers realize their potential. The coaching mindset includes 1. Empowering as opposed to telling, 2. Facilitating and removing obstacles instead of judging, and 3. Developing as opposed to controlling. This mindset needs to be combined with the traditional because Indian management takes a traditional approach, but you also want to be encouraging and do not belittle and make sure you're giving your employees clear-cut, understandable goals and job skills that they need to have to be successful. We thank you again for choosing Impact and Impression Consulting Group to provide this management consulting services for you. Welcome to India. We are confident our consulting will provide you with the education, information, and skills you need to be successful. We wish you the best of luck in your new adventure.